Karina, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How you been?
Good. Thank
What you been up to?
Well, I got my pictures taken.
Awesome. Okay. So you got new headshots, fill out your profile.
Yeah, so I'm working on that.
Okay, and then we'll order the business cards for you as well.
I haven't done that yet, but I'm setting up my emails and things like that. I'm doing a lot of research when it comes to social media because I want that to be one of my strategies.
Social media?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, no, that'd be great. So, we have some social media experts here in the office. So we need to get some masterminds together around the social media marketing.
Sounds good.
So Remo does a lot of social media. Almost all of his business is SOI, and he uses social media to target a lot of them. So he posts stuff, like random questions that they answer. And then from there, he has conversations back and forth. Same thing with houses. Like, say, for example, he posts a picture of a kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who says which kitchen appeals to you the most, right? And they have two different styles of kitchens. And then as people are interacting back with him, one of his staff members or himself is actually engaging in a conversation, now having a two-way conversation about kitchens. Like, do you own your home like that has a kitchen like this, or maybe possibly thinking about remodeling one? I could help you find a contractor, right? Or maybe you're renting and I can help you own a home, or maybe you could sell that one and buy a bigger one. So they're steering their stuff that they're posting on social media more of like questions to get people engaged. And then the engagement turns into a conversation, turns into getting their contact, putting them on a drip campaign, and then continue reaching out to them, maybe sending them contractors, give them some bids on building a kitchen like that. So there's a lot of different ways to, attract some people online, especially the people that you already know.
Yes.
But two-way conversations are the key, not just, shooting content out there.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of Facebook ads as well. So I think I'll be taking a class. I think it's like for a month or something. It's a couple $100 on just learning Command better and building better Facebook ads to get more leads.
Mm-hmm.
So as I take those courses, I'll be reteaching them here in the Market Center. So that'll be good as well. So excuse me for 1 second. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
Sure.
I'm back. All right. Oh, wow. It's 10:03. It's just you and I? This is awesome. I know. Were you on the team meeting yesterday?
Yes, but you know what? The audio was kind of hard to hear.
Was it? I was asking
Yeah.
everyone if they could hear me okay, because I have another mic. I have a mic that I could use. It's a little difficult having a mic on your cell phone so you can see me close up. And then there's also a mic on the big TV in the training room. So if you have any volume on, they read each other, and then all of a sudden you get the choo 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 like super loud. So I'll find a better way to do both.
Hey Rob, what's the noise again? Can you do it?
Choo 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 choo.
Good job. I like the choo 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 choo.
Yeah, exactly. So figuring out how to do it live and in person is gonna take a little bit of finesse.
Now when I hear that, when it's happening to me, I won't be sure if it's you or my phone doing the noise.
Oh, exactly. So due to our team meeting yesterday, I'm not sure how many people are kind of zoomed out already. So we'll see how this goes today.
How many people were there for the live?
There was, I want to say about 15.
Oh, that's great. That's good.
So
Good.
not too bad to kind of drag them on in here. There's a lot of appointments going on right now, which is pretty cool. So
That's awesome.
Oh, good.
I like it. I like it.
yeah, so I have Alex is usually on. He's got a new agent who wants to do commercial. He's interviewing right now. I have another agent working with Cassidy right now. That's she's actually a civil engineer, and
cool.
she's been doing it for 30 years. So she could design you an entire house or a complex or an apartment complex from every nail, right? And she works for she worked for a Chinese company for years, a real estate company where the Chinese would buy houses cash and then she would manage them. So she had over 500 properties she was managing and doing all the repairs on. So she has over 2,000 contractors in her phone in all different areas of California to service these homes.
Who is that agent? Are they on board, or you said they're in an appointment right now?
Well, they're working with Cassidy. So she passed her state exam, but didn't do her live scan or so.
Oh, I see. Who is that? What's their name?
Her name is, I don't know her last name. Her name is Elaine.
I'll follow up with you there. That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's an amazing resource. So she goes, I actually had doing some remodeling on my house. So I drew a picture on the whiteboard. It's like, hey, I need a structure. I need to recalculate this beam structure to hold up this other beam because I'm moving a strong wall. And she goes, you know how to do that? I was like, well, I do, but I don't know how to do the calculation. So I don't want to Google it. So maybe you can stop by my house and give me a calculation.
I love it.
Wait, can you do a screen?
Which will be fun.
What?
Screenshot when we're there.
I don't know how to do that.
You press
Okay.
the function.
What is it? Shift Command 3? Wait.
Did I take a picture? How'd I look?
Yeah,
I think you look
Okay.
good. You always look good. You're
we
always
have to do
smiling.
promotion. We have, right?
Yeah.
It has to come out on some sort of social media platform within the next couple hours. You can guarantee it.
So, I was just chatting with Karina before you guys hopped on. So she's a new agent. We actually met her door knocking for one of my listings. Adam met her, and she just got her headshots done the other day. And one of her, on her GPS, one of her 3 things is going to be social media marketing.
Okay.
So-
we did talk about that, Rob, I think via text. And then, I had asked about remote teaching and blah, blah, blah. And then you asked me something. But now you just reminded me of that conversation. We did create, I think it's a 4 or 5 page process for Facebook lead ad marketing using some strategies that are fairly simple. So we would be happy to share that, and certainly with you and or Karina.
Gotcha. What is the relationship between Tristan and Nick Baldwin? Are they're still partners in Lab Coats, right?
Yeah, they're the founders of Lab Coat.
Yeah. So you have Nick doing specific classes, and then you have Tristan doing other classes. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Well, they're first of all, they're doing a bunch of different stuff. That they created a bunch of different categories for specific areas of real estate. So they have the leverage category. They have another one which is a sort of a private group that has 60 like super elite agents in that group. Then there's the moderator group. And then they have been, contracted by people like Gary Keller, and that's why they created that thing called Command Your Conversion. So you're seeing them do a lot of different stuff as they grow.
Yeah, so I see Nick's doing one called 3 million in 90 days.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's a live, like where he's on it live. It's not pre-recorded
Mhm.
for a couple different weeks. I think it's 3 weeks long.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
So I know Tristan's doing his stuff, and I don't see him doing stuff together anymore. It's usually just one or the other.
I
They're
think they're
probably dividing and
I
conquering.
I think that they're too big now, and Tristan has 18 people just in the virtual admin side of his business, and it's it's big now. There are 140,000 people. It'd be like running 140,000 agent brokerage, and there's lots of content that's being created, but they're also doing stuff outside of real estate too, and also trying to grow massively on YouTube and other platforms.
Gotcha. So YouTube's interesting. I mean, we've been talking about YouTube for a really long time. YouTube, I think Michael Tridhart taught a really great class called Being Google Great. And I think he still teaches that class. He's a Keller Williams guy. And that was about doing specific stuff on Google and playing with YouTube and making sure you tag and post stuff on YouTube to kind of build your rankings higher and higher when it comes to being number one on Google. What do you guys see on the YouTube platform? What does that look like for you guys?
For us personally, it looks like zero. But if I were an agent, I would certainly be doing videos that are driving traffic there, and we're consulting with agents in the business, and they are doing that, and they're getting business out of it very early. So in one particular case, the agent had a goal of doing 30 videos in 30 days, started doing it, and then started getting people coming out of the woodwork, because what we see is happening is it's almost a little like pride and ego based. So the people aren't feeling as comfortable reaching out to the agent because they don't want to ask a stupid question. But because the video is giving them the basis of the question and the answer, now they're feeling comfortable to then reach out, because now they feel like they know at least they can look like they know what they're talking about. They can ask intelligent, relevant questions. And so they're now reaching out to the agent, and the agent's making the conversions.
Gotcha. So what would be an example of a couple of those videos, 30 videos in 30 days?
All right, so I'll give you an example. Like think about right now as it relates to putting your house on the market for sale, and then all of a sudden you're getting 40 or 50 offers, and how to select those offers. What do certain things mean? And then what are the challenges on either side of the equation, such as, well, if my house sells in 2 seconds, then where do I go? Because as fast as it is on the selling side, there's challenges on the buying side. So what do those options look like? And the clients don't do what you and I do every day, so they're not felt familiar with the pros and cons of a rent back. They're not sure what they can ask for, what they can't ask for, and then they want to be informed on whether or not it's a good idea to write a contingent offer on the buyer side, as an example. So all of the challenges that you guys are seeing as realtors that maybe take for granted, just put those into short little videos to educate the consumer.
And when you say short video, that's what, 1 minute or less, 2 minutes or less?
I guess it would depend on the platform, but
Sorry.
and it would depend on how you structured your video, because now you're making me think of, what can you do to continuously put that video out? And in some cases, you would want to take that video, and let's say it was a minute, but it was broken down into segments, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Then you could chop that video up, and then you could send it out and put it across all the platforms, because you now have a 15-second clip, a 30-second clip, and a 1 minute version.
Gotcha. Joe, hello, Joe Soto.
What's up, buddy?
Joe Soto makes lots and lots of videos. How many videos are you making per week?
So 5 or 10 a week, something like that. So I've got a bunch on YouTube, and I did a bunch of micro content, so under like a minute and a half, and I basically took every step of the loan process from I want to buy a house to keys in hand, and I broke that down into like 61-minute videos. And I think it's a good thing for agents to do the same, from I want to list my house to my house is under contract, and break that down, because there's so many pieces that the client does not know about. And we speak in acronyms and tongues, and we use words and stuff that people have never heard in their life. And even people who have owned multiple houses don't remember. So even if you took all of those little steps, like I was literally flying home from a conference and I wrote down all the little steps on a piece of paper, and then I came back and I recorded all of those videos, like literally in one day, which I wouldn't do. I would bring multiple outfits if you record in one day. I didn't. So if you go on my YouTube channel, I'm wearing the same damn outfit, but whatever, I did it, right? I didn't talk about it. You can talk about it or be about it. So you want to be about it, take action. But that's what I would recommend, is all of those little steps, break them down, because the average person doesn't know. And you want to be the person that they get the information from.
Can I add something? One of the things is you've got 3 seconds to engage people. So I think, especially if you're an agent, and let's say you want to show around them a house or whatever, you need to say, hey, this house has this amazing backyard. Let me take you to go see it. Right. So you got to get them engaged into the video. Otherwise, I think if you're selling yourself and not the story, you're going to lose that engagement. Right. So you need to talk about what it is that you're doing, not about yourself, which I think as agents, sometimes we forget and we start talking about ourselves over the story.
Especially if you're not that exciting.
Exactly.
You got an agent kind of boring, doesn't have like an outgoing personality. You're selling the feature of that house. So if you had a listing, Candace, and it had a couple great features, like had a pond in the backyard, then had a pretty nice kitchen, then had a soaking tub in the bathroom. Based on what I'm hearing you saying, is that instead of me walking you through the entire house, like, boom, check out this amazing tub. It's so relaxing. Boom, shoot a quick video just about the tub.
Correct.
To see more, click on the link and you go to my website or you go to a virtual tour, and then do the same thing for the pond, do the same thing for the kitchen.
Absolutely. I think
That sounds like a Facebook ad as well. You could do 3 Facebook ads highlighting those 3 things.
And if you want to get crazy, you could go on to TikTok.
I'm sure my kids will show me how to use it. They're good at it. Awesome. That's a great suggestion. So has anybody been doing that on a high level or at a level at all? Mark DeRico is very great on camera, as you could tell. He's got a makeup person. He's doing pretty good. Do you do any micro videos, Mark?
What's going on? My audio just came on.
Oh, excellent. Do you do any micro videos?
Not at the moment. Before in the past.
You've done some shorter videos in the past?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you putting those? Are you putting those on YouTube? You have
some are on BombBomb. Some of them are on YouTube. Some of them are internal. So it all depends on what it's used for. The best ones is the one that I'm not on camera and it's just explaining stuff, just to leverage what many FAQs that a lot of buyers or sellers have.
Gotcha. Joe was just mentioning he did 61-minute videos of the entire loan process, from giving him a call for loan application all the way to handing the keys. Does anybody have something that very specific, an outline?
1 second, please.
Wait, what?
He's gonna give us an example of one of his videos right now.
Oh, gotcha. Well, he's on baby duty right now, so his wife are due any second now. So, the water might have broken. He just took off. So we don't know.
If anyone needs that list, like Joe's referring to the list, I have 2 lists where they're both literally like what he was saying, from start to finish, whether you're a seller, and the same thing on the buyer. So I think the list would then help people, give them ideas and, the sequential order of what those videos should have. And then, you're hearing what Mark LaRico is saying, and everybody sort of has their own take. But we also sent out that that 3-month calendar, which just has that acronym that Tristan created, which was STAY, just to keep yourself organized so that you're doing something each day under a different subject matter. So one of them is the story, the other one is to teach something, and so on and so forth. Each of those letters have a name. And a lot of times I think people get frozen, which I love what Joe said. Just, once you start taking the action, and if you want some confidence building, all you have to do is go back and look at what's his name? Now I'm losing my train of thought. That built up the wine company from his parents' small store and
Gary Vee.
Gary Vee.
Gary Vee, yeah.
All of a sudden he's doing 60 million a year in wine sales, and you look back at day one video versus video number 1,000, versus what he's doing today. He's just evolved over time, and everybody's capable of doing that.
You're muted, Rob.
There we go. I lost my video. The screen went blank. So I lost you there.
The
Awesome.
acronym for STAY is sell, teach, advise, and you. So, sell something, teach them about something, advise them about certain things, and then you is, talk about what you love, right? People love to see photos of your kids and your dog and, all of those fun
Or
things.
Remo fishing.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Awesome. So right now, just based on the 5-minute conversation that we've had just now, do you see how much value you have in not only shooting videos, but getting that information from Candace? So we appreciate that a lot. So we're going to be reaching out to you to help us with some of that stuff. So cool. Thank you. Remo, what about yourself? We're chatting about, videos, relevancy, shooting micro videos, putting some stuff out there. What do you got going on as far as like video content? I know you've done some creative stuff in the past.
Yeah, what Dave mentioned about the quality comes in the quantity, and when we look back at our first videos, they sucked, and there was someone playing with keys, and it just all you hear is the keys rattling, but then you learn, you're like, okay, next time when I'm doing a video, make sure I don't have keys in my hand. Then the time after that, I make sure I don't do this, or I make sure I don't do that. I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. Yeah, okay. This lady's trying to talk to me. So, the more you do, the better you become at anything, right? And that's just something to kind of keep in mind. This lady's trying to talk to me. Weird. Oh, bastard. Showing up on this is LA County, not Orange County, damn it. Just kidding.
Awesome. Anybody have any specific questions around video content or videos, or how to shoot them, or maybe some ideas, some tips or tricks, or when we could actually start shooting some together?
I just want to say, I put my email, see if we can get the list. That would be great.
Will do.
Gotcha. Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
So was that one list or two lists, Dave?
I think it's 2. I'll send them both.
Okay. Yeah, a really good outline would be great. So if you want to send them to me, I'll just I can email them, blast them out, or I'll take a screenshot of who's here today and send it to them.
Yes, only people that are here now get it.
Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
I was looking at a video that Sean Ross made yesterday. If you guys know Sean Ross, and I texted him right after. I said that was a cool video, and he's like, "Yeah, I just got 2 $1 million buyers from it." And here's the full process. Number one, it wasn't his listing. He contacted another agent in our office in Long Beach and said, "Hey, can I shoot a video in your new listing?" Because it was kind of a nice place. He went and shot the video. You can tell it's, maybe it needs a little editing work. It's chopped up a little bit, but some of that's intentional. And it's got a little bit of character to it. and he's got 2 $1 million buyers out of it. So, and it looks like he's got 94 views on Instagram, which is not a tremendous amount. So obviously people liked it.
I think for me, I think that having a not so perfect video really gravitates to people. And when you look at reels, those are just most of them are like just pure authentic videos when you're putting it together.
I agree. If it's too polished, I mean, I think everybody has their opinions. So, it's like what I think the theme is number one, don't overthink it. Just get started, take massive action, and over time, you'll not only will you improve, you'll sort of figure out what your sweet spot is and where you're getting the most activity, which of course you can go into the analytics and see and thank God for these tech companies that can do a lot of this tracking that a lot of us as agents are not great at naturally.
And yeah, my problem is just putting the content together and taking that time, because it does take time. It's like,
And that's what's really great about this list. So if I was able to take that list and create, say the list had 30 things on it, and create 30 very short scripts, you can come shoot them here in the Market Center. We have a video room in there. Throw your iPhone on there, have the backdrop. We're gonna do some training on how to, put you green screen in front of other backdrops, and then we'll have them all written out for you, just sitting there on the desk. You pull them up, put them on the board, you read them out, and there you can just make them your own. But we'll have that stuff together for you. And I like to create some evergreen videos, so when I meet with people, like say I'm door knocking, I meet with somebody, I have a video already on my phone that I'll just send to them. It's like, hey, thanks so much for meeting with me. I look forward to following up with you in the future, because usually they'll let me follow back up with them. I'll get their information, and I use that same video over and over again. Some videos are very powerful, especially like a birthday video. So if it's your customer's birthday and say you have them in your CRM and it's like, hey, send them a birthday text message or give them a call. I'd like to shoot them a video. So I'll literally get my phone out on their birthday, shoot them a video, say, hey, you know what? I want to take my time out of the day to personally wish you a happy birthday. I know you're an amazing person. I know you're going to have an amazing day. I'm just thinking of you, have a great day. Boom. And send it to them via text immediately. Something like that that's very personal and very, on the fly and very live. We've had really great response with our customers on doing just that.
If you want to, Rob, as an office, if you want to throw us on the calendar, we'll do something that we've done elsewhere, which we call Content Creation Day, for a couple of reasons. Number one, a lot of times, I think it was just said, agents don't necessarily have anything time blocked in their schedule on a consistent basis to set aside time where they're in a creative space where they can get ideas from a professional and do this. I'll bring over a professional who I happen to like very much, who can explain how to get the maximum exposure on all the different platforms, and has done a tremendous job herself. And then we'll do it as a collaboration and see where it goes.
Awesome. So I want to put that on the calendar right away. So what do you think? In a couple weeks out, or say 2 weeks out?
We can do it right now, or you can text me when this Zoom is over. I want to contact her and see what her availability is, and mesh it with your schedule at the office, and we'll do it.
Yeah, well, I think even taking an inner circle block like this and doing it live here in the office, is that what you mean? Having a live, or doing it on Zoom? Or both?
You could probably do both. I hadn't thought about it. We were doing this pre-COVID, but I like what Joe said. Why not take action? Let's just do it now.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I mean, we have a scheduled block next week, Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
I have to reach out to her, so I have to wait for her reply. So if she replies shortly, we can do it now, and if not, we'll do it. But I'd like to get it done on the calendar by the end of the day, if that works for you.
No, that definitely works for me. I definitely want to take some action on that. That's great, and I think people are very intrigued by that. I mean, they're not taking action because they might not have content. They might be confused. They might think it's hard. If we could show them an easy way to create more content, obviously they're going to get more business, and then obviously all of us get more business, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. I like where this is going. As a change subject on videos right now, getting offers accepted. So, and I know we've focused quite a bit on this in the past. We've had quite a few more people getting offers accepted now than in the past. Is there anyone here doing something very specific to help get those offers accepted? I've had a couple agents in the office offer commission reductions to the agent and to the seller, and they were very surprised. And I told them, I go, look, if you're dealing with a very high-end professional listing agent on the other end, they are not going to lower your commission. And this particular agent in our office got 2 offers accepted in the same week and offered commission reduction, and the agent did not take it and accepted their offer, knowing that the agent was willing to sacrifice his own funds for his family to get their buyer into escrow. They opened up those 2 escrows, and he did not lose any money on commission at all. That worked well for him. We had another agent was writing a contingent offer on a buyer. She represented a seller and a buyer, a Beller, and that house was about to go on the market, not on the market yet, prepped to go on the market. She wrote an offer for a property, and she offered to co-list her listing to get her offer accepted, and the agent agreed and ended up not co-listing that property with her and still accepted her offer to move forward. So having some really great success stories from quite a few agents in the office. Anybody else have some success stories that they've either heard or had themselves where they're having an easier time getting offers accepted right now?
I mean, I think for me, I could use my recent scenario, but we've talked about this before and shared, these tips, is just calling the listing agent and asking what exactly besides price is the seller looking for? And what I did with this particular one, because I only saw, my intention was to show one house to my buyer and lock up a contract. That was my intentions already to do, on which that happened. But I think what was really that sold for the seller and agent is me following up, prior to the showing, calling the agent and then calling the day of the showing that we went to go see the house, and then following up. And then the listing agent just told me that, we were not the highest price. And the terms that we gave, it wasn't nothing out of the ordinary, but it was just, the seller had needed more time to move out. So we give him actually, free, to rent it back for free to the seller. Since the buyer is able to at least defer the first payment, they don't have to come with anything from their pocket. But yeah, I think also just how you're packaging your stuff and just making it easier for the listing agent.
Gotcha. And what exactly is that for an agent on this call that doesn't know? What do you do to make it easy for that listing agent?
I put a cover letter and just bullet points of like what the offer contains, and then and everything is in order, all one PDF combined. And then after that, there's even a form in the car form that actually breaks down also the summary of that too. So I have the cover letter, and then that summary that you find, that car form, and then everything else just kind of falls into place, but all in one document.
Gotcha. One PDF document. They don't have 19 documents, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, yeah. And I already told the listing agent, like, look, I'm here to close deals, and I'm here to make this as smooth as possible. So, I kept saying that to him, and that's what he said. He told us, I think this is the agent that we need to work with, because I can tell that she's, able to at least get this to closing. And that's what the listing agent told me. So now we're closed already. So we're just waiting for the seller to move in 29 days.
Awesome. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
Have you thought about asking that listing agent to write you a recommendation?
I was thinking about that, but I don't know how that works. I was like, I wonder, how would that work?
I've done it for other agents. Like, say I work with an agent that's amazing, and I'll actually write them a review. Like, as another real estate professional, it's like, hey, as a listing agent, I really enjoyed working with, say, Fernando. He was super professional. He handled all of the documentation on time, and he really represented his buyer to the fullest. I would take his offer again and again, over and over, as a true professional. Now, he's like super thankful for getting that type of review from an agent, Now when I'm working with buyers, like why work with me? Why sign a contract with me? Well, look at this. I have 15 reviews from 15 different listing agents that say they would rather take my offer over another offer just because I'm a professional. I know how to get my job done and I'm a closer. And I would use that same thing for a listing agent. You worked with an amazing listing agent. You know, instead of looking at other realtors as competition, why don't we build each other up, write each other some great reviews if they have great reviews, and, you know, and let them use that to get more business.
Okay, so maybe I'll offer him, hey, you know, because we worked well together. I'm like, we worked well together. Let's, you know, can you do me, provide a review on my Google page? And then I'll do the same for you, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like if it was a
Okay.
great combination, like write each other a really great review. I mean, you're only building people up, including yourself. So, you know, the best way to build yourself up is to build up others. So let's
Yeah,
do that for each other as professionals. Now, if they were horrible, then like maybe, you know, I don't want that. So, but definitely that, I mean, in a listing presentation, imagine bringing a set of just customer reviews, other agents reviews right now in that market that we're in. It's really competitive. You making great relationships or having great relationships with agents
mhm.
is more likely you're going to get an offer accepted than having the highest price.
I like that. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'd like to add on to that. I would definitely, Connie, make sure that you ask them, hey, if I have another offer that I'm presenting to someone from your office down the road in the future, would you be able to vet me at that time? Not just a review, but would you be able to reach out to that client? Can I, you know,
Oh,
call
okay.
on that favor later on down the road, which I've done twice, and one of the times we got accepted because of that.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
And I do that as well. So that's a really great point. You know, other agents outside of Keller Williams and inside of Keller Williams call me all the time. Say, hey, Rob, do you know this agent? If I do, so I might have called some of you like, hey, by the way, I'm calling as a reference to this particular agent. I've known them for 20 years. They're amazing. They're actually a personal friend of mine. I know them very well. They do not work with customers that do not close. Right. And that usually goes a long way, you know? So if you come across that, and you might have an agent that you might not know, but I probably do, you know, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to make that call for you. And you have amazing vendors on this call that know a lot of people. So you know who knows 10 times more people than I do? Probably Candace Cullen. So,
I noticed
And, you know,
Candace
and guess who knows more than me? David Cullen.
yeah. So trust me, people know a lot of people. So, I mean, use those relationships to help you grow your business. Like leverage them. They're there. They're providing you more than just title service or mortgage service, right? They're providing a lot of service, and they're your partners in this as well. So lean on them, and, you know, obviously send them business too. So, you know, make it reciprocal.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
No, that's a good tips.
Luz, how's everything going in the lending world? What's happening? Anything new? Something exciting?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I think, you know what, I love that you talked about doing, being creative with the offers. You know, we're seeing a lot of that, which is, I think, some great tips. I've even seen a lot of my clients paying the escrow and title services for the seller. So, you know, that's also another like big strength. You know, maybe the commission might sound a little bit too much, but paying the escrow and title services, it's one of them. So that might be a possibility. So with that being said, one of the things that we're doing, and we just came out with this new program, is that we talked a little bit about it yesterday in the team meeting, and those who missed it, was the 17 days or 15 days, you know, guarantee to close your transaction. It's really how quickly you want to move your deal. And if we don't, we're able to give $2,000 credit back to the buyer or the seller as a per diem if we don't meet those turn times. So that's a great leverage for you to put in your contract. This morning, I actually walked through a contract with one of my agents and told them, you know, remove your loan contingency because we already have an approval, and put $2,000 if we don't close in 15 days in the contract. And, you know, have that go towards the seller. And, you know, that's going to help the seller pay the escrow and title fees or whatever that means, right? So I think structuring a transaction, and, you know, we're giving you those tools to be able to structure a loan that way. Use them, you know, If you want certain ways how to structure them, give us a call. We can help you. We see a lot of different contracts that you just mentioned. We know which ones are actually staying on top of the game. We know which ones are being considered or not. And there's a lot of strategies a lot of agents are using these days to open escrow, right? There's just not one right way of submitting an offer. There's various ways. So that program that we have, our Keys on Time program, it's a good way to leverage those contracts. So we're doing that. We also have, grant programs that are no waiting period, like a CalHalfa. We're giving 5% grants for a lot of these transactions. So that helps also with some of the funds that if your buyer are overbidding on a property value and it's coming short on the appraisal, then use your buyer's funds to pay the difference and use our program to pay for the down payment, right? So figure out a way how to structure. I really think it's really what the big thing is going to be in the next few months with lack of inventory. Just let's get creative with the financing. Let's get creative with the structure of loans. Take a look at our renovation mortgages. We're going to have a great seminar May 27th, renovation mortgages, how they're working with ADUs. Leverage them, use them, and just put them into consideration every time you think of a new client and a new offer. So there's a lot of ways, guys.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I mean, you and Joe are both on. When somebody gets qualified for a loan, are you qualifying them on multiple different programs? So just in case they need to change something, they're still like, do you submit that application as an FHA with the CalHalfa and then also with a 5% conventional or something? Do they have multiple sets of approvals just in case they need to change something, or is it just one?
Yeah.
And then-
No, absolutely. We're changing, we're looking at conventional first as a priority because everyone, the trend is only conventional offers. That's one. But we are giving them different scenarios to make sure that when the time comes, and again, it's back to the communication between the lender and the realtor partner. Once you have a pre-approval, you have to stay connected with your lender to make sure how those offers are getting structured. You just can't take that pre-approval, go out there and start showing homes without knowing how to structure a transaction. That's a big mistake a lot of realtors do, because then you're submitting an offer based on the pre-approval letter we're giving you without really looking through all the options we're offering the clients. And you could use any of those offers, any of those structures to be able to put together a great offer.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts, Joe? How do I use that as a buyer's agent to be able to let the listing agent and the seller know that my buyer's like really versatile. We could do all sorts of things depending on what this contract says.
It's a communication business, right? Like that's the number one thing. So for us, we use a program called the Mortgage Coach, where we literally lay out different options for the client side by side. And so I can show them one column with FHA, one conventional, one down payment assistance. It lays it out really super clear so that there's no surprises. And then it's just a matter of communicating with the listing agent and letting them know that we're going to perform, right? Like this, this isn't an offer, this is a closing, and we're here to close. A lot of it is communication and letting them know that you're going to do what it takes to make the seller happy. I think that's something a lot of people, specifically lenders, miss, is the listing agent needs to make the seller happy. They need to get more referrals from that seller. So whatever you can do to make their life easy so that they can close escrow and they can get more referrals, that's what they want. But yeah, you have to show the client all of the options. They have to know plan A, B, C, D, E, appraisal comes in high, appraisal comes in low. What am I waiving? What am I not waiving? Like, you have to make sure the listing agent knows that there's not going to be any surprises and your client's not going to get cold feet. And you just have to educate them really well up front. So if that appraisal does come in 10 grand low, or it doesn't appraise, or they have to remove contingencies, what's the plan if we do remove contingencies? Like, clients need to know that up front.
Awesome. Thank you. So we don't want to focus too much on working with buyers, although that's really awesome for the lenders, right? We want to be a listing-based business. Listing gets you more business. They actually get you more buyers and they get you more sellers. What are we doing to be more focused on being listing-based?
I'm trying to get to that point to be just the listing agent. And I think I'm learning that if you talk about more buying to your audience, that's what you're gonna get. So I'm trying to put more sellers content out there. And just reaching out to specifically just sellers and just cold calling.
Okay, because sellers are buyers as well. They're not just going to sell and move off to.
Yeah.
Some of them leave the earth, some of them don't. So the ones that are staying, right, have to move somewhere. So everybody is a buyer. So we're focusing on buyers that are going to sell and then either buy or relocate. There's probably been a lot of challenges with selling and then buying locally because the market's extremely crazy for them to have the contingent offer. We've had quite a few sellers move into rental properties, like short-term rentals, 6 months, 1 year. They'd rather sell, rent, and then find the right property and then buy themselves out of the lease that they're in, or continue leasing for the rest of the year, or put their kids or something in there. Has anyone come across that where it's they want to sell but they have nowhere to go, and coming over some of those objections on creative ways to place them somewhere or put them at their mother-in-law's house so they could actually get top dollar now and then find the right home? Anybody? Crickets? Brick? You dealing with any bellers right now?
Yes, but commercial.
Oh, awesome. Well, commercial always has an up leg. They usually just don't sell. You got to find them an up leg. So
I got one. Sorry, I got one. But they're moving from Bellflower to Corona, so it's almost like, I don't want to say almost out of state, but it's in this a more affordable area. So
gotcha.
that
Is
was
there a house contingent on buying?
No, they did. Joe knows this person, so she's like a high D. She wants to get it done quickly. So I said, just don't have a contingent. Just go to a short-term rental. She's like, yeah, I was thinking about just going to Airbnb if I don't find a place. She's one to figure it out later on. That's her type of personality.
Gotcha. Now, is that particular person, they got kids? They married? Single?
She got 2 older parents that live with her. She has 1 kid who has special needs that needs to be in certain districts. So yes, definitely.
Oh, gotcha. So put them in a short-term rental for, Airbnb monthly, pay a monthly fee.
Because the IEs, it's crazy right now where, certain parts of the IE, you're going to be really competitive because that's where most people could afford right now over there, and they get more bang for their buck.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So there are options out there for your sellers that think they want to buy and has to be contingent. We had quite a few people moving into rentals, which makes it very convenient. Some just moving back in with parents temporarily until they could find their home and putting their stuff in storage. So letting people know that there's options will actually get them off of the fence and get them to the selling point. If you haven't done that already. So we got about 15 minutes left. I'd like to finish off by talking about leads, because nothing happens without leads. Where are your leads coming from right now? I've been doing one-on-ones with quite a few agents for the last couple of weeks. And quite frankly, I'm really surprised that they usually only have one lead generation lever, like usually just one, compared to multiple levers. And then all those levers are action required. So we have 2 different leads. We have active and where you physically have to work to get them. And then we have passive leads that are coming in through pay-per-click, Facebook ads, paying for other services, right? A lot of people have just one, and they're usually just working their SOI, probably not at a scale that they should be. And that's the reason the reduction of their business over the last year. If any of you fall into that category, let's get together. I definitely want to make sure that you have more than one lead generation lever. A lot of lead generations levers in 2019 was open houses, and you've seen what happened in 2020 with no open houses, and their businesses fell apart, right? So having more than one lead generation lever, especially having some passive ones with either doing some pay-per-click or some Facebook ads or some Google ads to drive some traffic in there as well without actually physically having to do the work. Some of us that have teams, we have team members, they're the ones doing some lead gen. Like I'm not physically doing it. So that's another passive lead gen source as well. who's taking advantage of some of the passive lead gen sources, having either people cold call for them, cold calling centers, pay-per-click, paying for leads? Anybody having that type of success where they're not actually physically working for their leads?
I've done a few Facebook ads where they've come in, but kind of shying away from that because a lot of the leads are kind of horrible. But I do have a VA that does circle prospecting. That seems to be, they're longer term leads that you have to, put in the system and put on a drip and get them to know you a little bit. But I have about 2 or 3 different listing leads that have come in through that since early part of the year.
I have a question on that. So are these VAs, are they calling your SOI, or are they just like prospects through just a list of just cold calling?
Yeah, it's circle prospecting. So it's basically cold calling. We get a list of a neighborhood or move up or move down, absentee, whatever the list is that you pull. And why I like the VA is because I hate rejection. So they'll go ahead and get all those people that it's the wrong number, don't call me anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just look over the notes, and whoever they had a decent conversation with, I'll follow up and reference that conversation. And the fact that they spoke to someone from my office and, they shared some interest in, getting some more information. So it's a lot easier phone call versus having to just sit there and make those, make that cold call.
Yeah.
Your time, Rick, on the phone is extremely valuable, right? You only have so much time. So as a business owner, focusing on just the warm leads or someone that actually had a conversation with you compared to spending endless hours on the phone, obviously getting rejection, looking for that one, you have somebody else looking for that 1 or 10 for you.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it is that it's very draining. So tomorrow I'm going to do about 4 hours myself of basically cold calls that I have scheduled with in my book. But other than that, the rest of the week, she's the one making the calls and getting the rejections and stuff like that. And all I have to do is look over the notes and see which ones interest me and follow up with those.
Rick, do you ever at least hear what your VA sounds like on the call? That's what I get a little worried about, is if I'm passing this on, eventually I want to do that, is pass it on to, the next person, but I want to be able to see how this person is doing these calls, right? Because they're representing me, or she asking the right, or he's asking the right questions and handling the objections right.
I started working with this VA back in late October, early November of last year. So the first 2 and 3 months of it, we would script practice every morning for 30 minutes. And then it turned into more of an objections meeting every morning. This is what she got the day before. This is the type of thing. We just started using Hangout so that we can kind of see what each other is doing, and we'll go through the process. The VA tends to be more better at following a script than I am, because that's what they're doing every single day. So they'll stick to the script. The hardest thing is them learning the objections, them learning when to turn the conversation into a friendlier conversation. But overall, they're just getting a feel of that person and putting down the note on the call. Whether they've thought about selling, thought about buying, what their situation is. They don't want to be bothered. Wrong number. There's a lot of wrong numbers. So I enjoy her going through the wrong numbers and me not having to deal with the numbers.
Right, right. Okay.
I haven't gone to the extent of hanging out with her on Hangout and watching her make the phone calls. That can also be, I would say, too much pressure, I guess, for somebody to perform live. But I mean, it's working for me so far.
All right. Well, thank you.
The number one thing that I gotta say is don't expect to get a listing week one, month one. This is a process, and you're saving money and a lot of time. So
Yeah.
I've had talks with other people that are using VAs, and that's the big thing, is that people want a result in 3 months, and you might not get 2 or 3 listings till a year in, or 9 months in, but you can't expect something right away. Expect the freedom that you get from it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a leverage and a numbers game. So if you want to take my suggestion, one of the things I do with the VAs to vet them, to make sure that you're doing a good job, is add Mark Larico's name and number to every single one of your call lists. And he will let you know whether they're good or not.
For real? Like this.
Either that or you'll get a call.
I saved Dave's VA's voicemail, so I know what to do for the voicemail drop.
Or you'll get a call from Rob's VA asking you to move into the same office.
Join Keller Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the great agents in the office that actually set appointments with me, thank you very much. They filled up my calendar. It's awesome. With agents that I already have. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. So we had the VA, like, for some reason, pick up like this roster. And they were calling my own roster. So it's pretty great. Yeah. Then I started getting all sorts of calls. Hey, Rob, I scheduled an appointment for you, a recruiting appointment for 4 o'clock. Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, and I took those appointments too. So anyhow, one-on-ones. Cool. So leveraging the VA is awesome. I mean, Dave, you've been leveraging a VA for a while, yeah?
Not that long, no. I've been leveraging people since probably 2002, but VA just recently. It's probably why Larico's laughing. If he's saving my voicemails, and just so he knows, and I'll tell you what not to do when you hire your VA. Number one, don't hire them when you know you're not going to give them any kind of job description for 4 months after the fact, because that's a good way to burn through cash, which was fine. I did it anyway because I just like taking action, and I figured, you know what, this is the things that she's going to do. Number two, I was also very clear that I would not have hired her if I was relying on her to convert any kind of leads or do any kind of cold calling. So the only people that she is actually calling are people that are, agents that are on a Pacific Estates roster that I have a relationship with. And so yeah, she would not have been a target for what you guys are talking about. Not at all. So
You got me to make an appointment.
what's that?
She
Yeah.
got me to make an
Yeah,
appointment.
exactly. I mean, matter of fact, as funny as Mark's comment was, she did such a good job on making the appointments in the first couple of days. I had to tell her to stop doing it because she was making she was creating too much work for me, and I didn't want to have that many appointments. So, but I don't think that's what you guys are looking for, and so you're going to probably come across 2 different options. I'm sure there's more than 2, but one would be to hire someone that sounds good and can communicate, who probably has a company that actually does the training with them. So if you don't want to be the trainer, those companies will record their folks that they employ. They'll work with them and coach them up to become better at doing those calls and getting those conversions. And even still, most of those results are not going to be as good as if you put a professional, successful, seasoned realtor on the phone. But I understand there's a couple of things being done about that. I was on the phone with Tristan a couple days ago. He himself is building a company that's going to employ people in the United States that don't have any language barriers, that are selected a little bit differently and put through some extensive training. And of course, I would expect that the ticket price on those folks is going to be higher than what you pay for for folks like mine is from Virtue Desk. So that's about all I have to say on that subject.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm looking into right now is that we can go ahead and research VA companies that are not necessarily, they are overseas, but they have in the Spanish areas. Puerto Rico has some VA companies. There is, they all don't have to come from the Philippines or places that don't speak other languages that are spoken here, primarily like, in LA, where I need someone that speaks Spanish. So I've been looking into those companies, but obviously there is a higher premium for them.
There you go.
Sometimes it might be worth a higher premium. Let's just, see what the numbers pan out. It's a numbers game. It's not necessarily how much you pay, it's how much we make. So I'd rather pay more to make more.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's about knowing that you're going to be able to convert more, having more of those conversations. So yeah, I mean, it's worth it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we're out of time. We got 2 lists coming from Dave that's going to be on some video content. We're going to put some content creation on the calendar probably within the next week or so, and we'll definitely get that out to you immediately. And continue focusing on lead gen. Lead gen is the answer to all problems. If you are not hitting your goals, it's just because of lead gen. If you need help with lead gen, you need a lead gen together. We got to get on a Zoom call and make calls together. Whatever we need to do to continually do more lead gen is the answer to every single one of your problems in the real estate right now. It's not contracts, it's not Facebook, it's not advertising, it's lead gen. So get out there, let's get some lead gen done.
If you find out that Larico's trying to steal my VA, let me know. Give me a heads up.
I'll definitely let you know.
You
I
know,
got my
that's-
eyes on him.
Us Filipinos have to stick together,
You're the man.
That's pretty funny. So I'll be making calls tonight from 5 to 7. If you guys want to come on in for call night, I'll be making real estate calls to my database. We could do that together if you're having some issues with that. If you're looking to do some cold calls, scripts and role play, we have in the mornings, and then we'll get right on to making actually some cold calls as well. So if you want to do more lead gen and you don't know how, or you're stuck, call me. We'll do it together. We'll find a way to make it happen. But come on into the Market Center. We're here to service you. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you on the next class.
Thank you. Have a good day,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.